Hey guys, this is Bodwin Gaming. This is going to be another King Arthur Legends Rise video. In today's video, we're gonna go over what I believe to be the top 8 best rare heroes that you should focus getting chivalries on, right? I had several people ask me about this, of like, who should I prioritize first on my chivalries and whatnot. So I decided, let me make a video on this, and I'm gonna give you my opinion of who are like the 8 best ones that straight up come into mind that you should 100% focus their chivalries on for overall utility. Before I jump in the video, I just want to mention that, there's a content creator program that King Arthur has. There's a link in the description and pinned comment. You can click that. You can support me for free. It costs you nothing, helps me a ton. And by doing that, you're going to have codes that I give you, at least 2 codes every month that give you more gold, stamina, all the cool stuff. So please consider supporting me. But let's jump into it, right? Because there's quite a few to go through. So maybe they're not in a particular order of priority, but I'm just going to start with the one that I liked and I used a lot. And that's going to be, first one's going to be Sarah. Actually, I'm not going to look over there because it's easier to look over here as I don't have them all. So the reason why I believe Sarah to be amazing and worth investing in, starting with the C1, is because she reduces the cooldown of her passive to a 2-turn cooldown. So this passive is the one that can remove 2 debuffs from up to 3 random allies, and if you get the cooldown, it's pretty much every other turn. This is going to be amazing, right? Because this is whenever she uses a skill. So not only does she have that on her relics anyway, where she brings lots of healing, defense increase, but removing those debuffs is going to be amazing because you get a ton in most areas of the fight. Now the next one's but like the third one is not as insane. Like the attack gauge disruption is not as often where you face areas where they keep getting attack gauge up. For example, maybe something like an Aldry, right? If you have an A3 for Aldry, that's going to help it because he's not going to keep doing that. Then C4 increases number of random allies targeted by battlefield flower, which is pretty much the first one, like I mentioned. So she's pretty much going to remove all the debuffs, right? That just makes her insane, totally worth it. Then I think the next one that actually is game-changing is the last one. Grants all serpents favor attack gauge decrease immunity for 1 turn. Again, this is not that insane. It can be helpful, but it's only 1 turn. So pretty much for Sarah, if you get to C4, I think you can easily stop. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be another healer, and you know what, I'm specifically targeting them first because they're so good and they bring some crazy stuff. But number 2 is going to be Isolde. Especially Chivalry 1 is insane for her because when you skill 1, she heals the ally with the lowest HP by 7% of her HP, right? So Isolde is not like the best straight up healer in the game, so giving her C1 with this just makes her insane for healing as well, because then every time you do an A1, this is gonna help you a ton because you're gonna heal up a lot. Now, do keep this in mind. If you use your skill 1 while counterattacking, the healing is not going to proc, okay? This is the same thing for everybody in the game. If their kit is boosted by the passive on the first skill, if they counterattack, this is not going to happen. She's still going to land chill from her base form, but she's not going to heal when she does the A1, so keep that in mind. Another one, Chivalry 3, is just massive, is just insane for her. If you pair her in a team where you use dots, right, for Gorgos, for like even Algae, I recently made a video where you can tackle Algae by using dots. She pretty much, when she does a skill 3, she has a 100% chance of increasing the duration of all dots. That's massive. If you think about landing like 10 dots and having their duration be increased by 1 turn, that's going to be insane, and 100% you're going to want to do that. And now the C8, Merciful Protection cooldown is reduced by 1 turn, changes dot taken decrease 2 granted to skill to dot taken decrease 3, right? So if you have any areas where you're struggling, that you're taking lots of dot damage, right, mostly Forbidden Dungeon maybe, this is going to be extremely powerful, right? And this is just with this one, right? The second passive, Merciful Protection. So not only does it cleanse dots, but it also puts that higher dot taken decrease. So Isolde, number 2 in my point of view. Now number 3, let's switch it up a bit, is going to be somebody that maybe you don't hear too much about, but I highly value Bodwin because of the fact that if you don't have the better legendaries, right, if you're not lucky enough with like free-to-play like me and you don't pull the good legendaries like Guinevere, the legendaries like Ain or, Gillian, people that help you deal with abnormal statuses, he's your number 1 priority, right? If you don't have anybody else, he's going to be the guy that's going to help you a ton with that. And the reason why he's there is, first of all, when he does proc that passive that cleanses abnormal status, he puts defense increase 3. But then number 3 is massive, right? Again, if you don't have Guinevere, for example, he's your best bet for tackling Master of the Apocalypse, the one that you farm skill tones from, because he will give abnormal status immunity, which means when you start the fight in Master of Apocalypse, you don't get devoured, right? He just straight up blocks that. He straight up blocks the devouring, and that's gonna make him insane. And then the C8, honestly, I never looked. Skill 3 grants all allies receive damage decrease for 1 for 3 turns, and activates Divine Light, which is removes debuffs, thermal status, and dots. So this one is also amazing. It's just crazy. I'm surprised I didn't check it. I think I should have done that one. But let me see again. When does this one proc? So skill 3 grants all allies. Okay, so when you use your third skill, you're gonna get the damage decrease. You're gonna get the Divine Light, which actually is busted. I think it's definitely worth getting to C8 if you don't have, again, Guinevere, Gillian, stuff like that. So definitely keep Bodwin in mind. Now, next one that I personally went full on, I went to Chivalry 10, is going to be Anguish. The reason why I like Anguish so much is because he's arguably the best, if not like, you know, one of the best, or at least the easiest one to build when you're talking about doing damage over time, right? And his chivalries bring like this. First one, the passive, he changes activation condition to when attacking, which is obviously gonna be insane, because this one, Diane Check's Blessing, gives him effect accuracy and a tank increase. What does this mean? Well, you're gonna have so much more effect accuracy that is gonna allow you to always land your dots, so it's totally worth investing into. Second one gives him obviously effect accuracy. Third one grants attack increase 1 as well, so this one's a bonus. Without this, you only get the effect accuracy. Then the C8 is another one that this one pretty much makes him busted, right? He makes him busted. He's the one that can land the most dots possible, because every time you attack, you have a 50% chance to inflict bleed. Not only does he do with the base relic, right? He has a chance to land 3 chills. He then has a chance to land a bleed. He's gonna be your dot machine. So definitely keep an eye and consider investing into Anguish as your dot machine. Now, since we're talking about dots, let's talk another one that everybody talks about, and she's a monster. Rosier, she becomes a beast for dots. If you have her flame relic, right, this one again can land lots of bleeds, can do some self-sustain, lots of cool passives. But when it comes to chivalry, I'm not gonna go through all of them, right, because there's a lot of text, but you need to know that if you want to invest in Rosier, you need to get to Chivalry 8, right? This is where she starts becoming better, because she also has another chance to inflict bleed. It also gets this one, right? Blood Frenzy. 100% chance to inflict bleed on a single enemy for 1 turn, increasing duration of all dot effects inflicted on enemies by 1 turn, right? So this one just makes her be, again, a queen of dot. So that's number 5. Let's go to number 6. This one's going to be Torin, the first healer that we get. She's one of the ones that's kind of quirky. You start off with her, she doesn't seem maybe the best, but then she becomes insane and like arguably one of the best, if not the best healer when it comes to endgame because of her overall kit. And when it comes to Torin, you at least want priority number 1, the C1, because when this one you have her C1, she just straight up changes the weather into night, right? Without C1, she's not as good. Let me show you why. So the reason is like this: if there's not night, she's not gonna have the same effect of her passives. First of all, this one, right? When attacking while the weather is night, gain recovery powder for 1 turn. So obviously, if there's no night, you just don't take effect of this passive. And then not only that, but then her second skill, if the weather is night, grants recovery of all time. So again, if it's not night, you're not going to be able to do that extra healing. And the second skill is pretty powerful. Gives effect accuracy and defense increase, right? So you 100% want Torin to be at least C1. Then C3 becomes interesting as well. When an ally is inflicted with a debuff, grants recovery over time to that ally for 2 turns. It's only 1 turn cooldown. It's amazing. Then the C8 again is one that makes her extremely powerful as a healer, because the passive enhances recovery powder, right? This one that when an ally with 10% HP or less, she has a 50% chance to heal them. It makes healing elixir, which says like this: when healing an ally, right, it removes the conditional part, 50% chance to the following: restore 30% of their max HP. That's a huge heal, 30% max HP, and also have a chance to give them abnormal status immunity for 1 turn. So again, Torin becomes just busted once you get her to C8 and you push towards the end game, because again, her kit bringing effect accuracy increase means everybody else can be built with less effect accuracy. So definitely keep Torin in mind. Now let's finish off the list of healers, I guess. Let's talk about Clementine. She's again really powerful and she has some quirky kits. On the first one, the passive Made You Smile, the attack gauge reduction changes, chance increases by 30% and the reduction one by 10%. Then the third one changes Future of Dreams from, doing the damage and having an 80% chance to decrease the attack gauge. It goes to still doing the same damage, but gets additional damage based on the accuracy that she has, the effect accuracy. Changes this to 100% chance to reduce the attack gauge instead of 80%. So obviously it becomes extremely powerful. Then another one on C4, the Made You Smile heals ally with the lowest HP by 10% of our max HP. Again, just more and more healing in her kit. And then the C8, I think, is another one that becomes really fun. After an ally attacks, has a 10% chance to charge attack gauge by 100%. It's not a lot, but still, it can be good. Having the chance to do that and then trigger Future to Come, which again, more damage, more attack gauge pushback. Definitely keep in mind Clementine, she's a really good one. And then the last one on the list, which again, this is not necessarily in a particular order, but another one that I really like, especially because of C8, is Kaeya, right? So Kaeya made a video in the past where I said, if you're not someone that's a high spender and gets a ton of resources, she's your #1 priority to get to 6-star because she can push you through stories, she can push you through Penvid, she's just amazing as a early damage dealer. So let's look what she does. So Chivalry 1, Sharpened Blades charges at stag, favor allies attack gauge by 20%. If you think about it, it's her, Tristan, Isolde, they're all stag. And that's kind of like, half of them you have for free, Tristan and her, you get for free in the game. So this is going to be helpful. Second passive, when using skill 1, charges this hero's attack gauge by 10%. You're going to use that a lot, especially in Penvid because it's a 5-hitter. Then C3, Nimble Steps grants self crit damage increase for the rest of the battle, so means she's gonna do more damage. And then the next one, which this is the one that kind of makes her be busted, right? Chivalry 8, after evading, grants self Golden Ball Resolve for the rest of the battle. Now check this one out. This one does like this: increases the evasion rate by 3%. If you have 3 or more Golden Balls Resolve when attacking, charges attack gauge by 100%, and then removes 3 Golden Ball Resolve. So for example, let's say you don't get to get a turn, you just keep stacking these. If you get to have like 9 of the Golden Ball Resolve, you're pretty much gonna have 3 turns, one after the other, You're just gonna destroy the team. You're just gonna, it's insane. It makes her an amazingly good damage dealer overall, right, for everyone in the game. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers all the top 8 rares that I believe should be prioritized for putting Chivalry on. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with this? Do you not? If you disagree with somebody on the list, let me know who would you bring in this top 8, but who would you remove, right? Just give me some arguments so we can give as the best ideas we can for the rest of the community. But yeah, we're gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you all for watching, guys. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.
Fight with honor. Vanquish the wicked, and you may prove worthy of your legacy.